That's not a comic book. Now that's a comic book.
What the fuck? Yeah, I shaved. I don't like it. Like it all. Oh, I look so fucking young. This is horrible. Seriously, I look like I'm 15 again. This is some bullshit. So you're probably asking yourself, Ian, why'd you shave? Got engaged. For anyone that wanted to know that information, there you go. So let's just get those two obvious things out of the way. Yes, I shaved. You will get to watch me weekly now grow back my beard. Probably, I don't think I'm going to shave again because you're going to also see me throughout the next few weeks at least just doing a lot of this on video. Ugh, I'm so not used to this crap. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the last thing I read, which was Batman Rebirth #1, or Batman #1 Rebirth, or I don't know if Rebirth is even in the title. This is a weird story, but the very first thing that I must talk about that is super important and is incredibly relevant to the character. Batman's got a big-ass dong. Holy shit. This dude's hung like a horse. Look at that. Just wave that in your face. That is like huge. That's gotta be at least 6 inches around. No? Am I making you feel sexually uncomfortable yet? That a 15-year-old is talking to you about the size of Batman's penis? Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, this is a weird story. And immediately when I was in the comic shop, I saw Snyder's name on the cover, so I was immediately disappointed. And it definitely feels of Snyder, but it's got Snyder and King on it. And I quite liked King's last issue of 52. Of New 52 Batman. I don't know, this just doesn't feel like the beginning of a Batman story. To be fair, or the beginning of a new Batman, but to be fair, one of my things that I've been talking about with a lot of these books that I'm reviewing #1s of, or the starting issues of, is that they're not, what do I want to say? Oh, how do I put this? They're not telling self-contained stories very early on. They're starting a run, getting ready to start a massive run. And that's not at quite what we get here. It looks like there's stuff setting up for a longer run, but this reads on its own just fine. And I like that about it. I would just like if it were a more intriguing story, because this is just kind of weird. I mean, okay, you're starting off a new Batman book in a new universe. Where do you start with this? Who do you go to for a villain? Probably not Joker. It's just been done too many times, right? But Calendar Man? Fucking Calendar Man? And it's a really weird, creepy version of Calendar Man, too. He almost feels like a weird Japanese horror monster. He gets older throughout the year, and his skin molts, and he just, at the beginning of the new year, he peels off his skin, and he's a new person, but gets to keep his memories. So he's literally a calendar man. It's really fucking weird, and creepy. And there's you see it happen. You see the malting at the very end of this story, and yeah, it's a fucked visual. that you do not want to read just before you go to bed. So, hopefully you're watching this in bed. Okay, let's see here. There's Old Calendar Man. Oh, wait, there we go. Old Calendar Man. Hand comes out of the mouth and then shoots up and then crawls out. So keep telling yourself that. So yeah, it's just a really fucking creepy ass visual and idea and stuff. So I have not been reading We Are Robin. Just not a Robin fan. But the character that was in Super Heavy and from the whole We Are Robin thing is in this, and he's having a conversation with Batman about, like, he's not sure he needs to be Batman's Robin or whatever. I don't need a place to live, Bruce. I'm fine on my own, as Duke, as Robin. I don't think Robin needs a Batman. You're on the gargoyle, but us, Batman cuts him off. I'm not training you to be a Robin. I'm trying something new, Duke says. But if I'm not here to be Robin, like I said, I'm trying something new. And then we have like a Batboy costume, I guess? I'm not sure what they're going for with that. It's different. I don't love it. Don't hate it either. It's just different. And then Batman does a cool thing and yada yada. So it's not like bad. It's just, okay, this is strange in a number of ways. And it's just a really bizarre story, and it's a really weird place to start. But I guess this is where we're starting. And Alfred splits an avocado in half and drops it in the Batcave for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah. That's... I don't have much to say about this. I'm excited that the next issue is just going to be King and not Snyder. Yay for that. I hope for less dongage on Batman. Like, I know a lot of people like to live through Batman, but I don't particularly need him to have a massive dong. I guess looking 15 again just made me want to act like a 15-year-old. Yes, I know. I look like friggin' ridiculously young, and I'm done with it already. It's gonna go away, I promise. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Very heavy DC week. To DC Comics Bombshells number 14, and just throw a clap in there too to help me out. So I suppose the thing that I found, there are two stories in this one. We get what's been going on with Mira, because of course she didn't die, because no one ever dies in comic books. Or maybe they do all the time, and Dr. Manhattan just brings them back to life. Fuck if I know. We had a story with, like, she apparently didn't die. She was she went unconscious under the water, and since she lost her powers to save the rest of the bombshells, some of the servants of the evil Atlantis were taking her away to go face punishment there. But she was able to escape, and just as she was about to drown trying to get to the surface, someone pulls her out of the water, and it was Arthur Curry, Aquaman, but he's Irish. Kind of like that. Irish Aquaman. I can dig it. And so he's going to work on getting her back to the mainland, but he's really far kind of out in the boonies, and he doesn't have much of a way to get her there other than to fix the sails on his ship. And since it's winter, it's kind of taken him a while to be able to do that. Yeah. Just a neat little story, I guess, with Aqua. Oh no, wait, we get 3 stories. My bad. So that's what's going on with Mira, and I suppose we're gonna get, you know, Arthur Curry Aquaman in this eventually. I don't know. I've thought it was kind of interesting so far that we haven't had very many male heroes. Like there have been a couple that have popped up, but they've been really spread out and not focused on at all. So it'll be interesting, I guess, if Aquaman is the first one they do that with. We also get the origin of what happened to Zatanna and how she and Constantine, Constantine, whatever, got involved with the Joker's daughter. And that was kind of interesting. I just didn't really care for it one way or the other. It's kind of neat to show Zatanna and John be kind of exiled into the ghettos for not obeying her. That was... I liked that quite a bit. And then this character showed up, and I'm not sure who it's supposed to be. But so I guess we're going to get more of Zatanna's backstory of what's going on with her and the Joker's daughter and Constantine. And she will be involved. Is Blue Devil a thing? Like, nothing's clicking for me about who this is supposed to be. And the dryer is done. But nothing's clicking for me about who's supposed to be talking to them here. If you know in the comments, please let me know. And then we get a cool scene with Harley and Ivy, kind of pursuing the Joker's daughter to stop her because of, like, this what Harley's thing has been leading up to. What little of Harley we've had. And we get just... I mean, this whole story with Harley I've felt is a little superfluous, but I really, really like this panel. Like, I think... I just really wish this was what they'd been doing with Harley the whole time, as opposed to having her... It's so annoying. I just don't like Harley being an anti-hero. It doesn't work for me. But I just wish this is what I was reading with Harley in this era. Like, that whole panel, that's a fucking poster right there. Just Bonnie and Clyde with the Joker and Harley. That's fucking perfect. I just want that. And instead we're getting stuff with Ivy and the Joker's daughter and mysticism. So, it's whatever. Yeah. Meh. Okay. I just didn't really care for the Poison Ivy stuff, and it was kind of just interesting to get Joker's backstory as more of like a mob, kind of moonshining, Prohibition era guy. Again, it was just okay, though. I wasn't in love with any of that stuff. Everything in this issue is just kind of alright compared to a lot of what I liked last issue. And I guess we're getting this book weekly now? Maybe? Alright. So, let's go ahead and move along yet again. I'm going to clap this time. Alright. To Batman Beyond, number 13. So at the end of last issue, Livewire did something to Tim's suit and made him lose control over it, and Tim started to drown. Barbara saved him, and we get some backstory on Tim and Terry and what they were up to, and blah, 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 blah. And this whole story is just kind of like, okay, what happened to Terry McGinnis? Because turns out he didn't actually die in Future's End, and this whole thing is just in a fucked continuity that makes no sense, so whatever. But this whole issue just leads up to one scene at the end, which is that Terry McGinnis is alive as Livewire, and he is under the control of Spellbinder. And that's all I really care about. Just give me Terry McGinnis back. I'm sorry, Tim Drake. You had your chance to be Batman. They gave it to someone who could not competently write you as Batman, apparently. I don't know. Is Jurgens a good Tim Drake writer in general, and he just didn't know what to do with Batman Beyond? I'm not sure. But yeah, the only reason I kept this comic is because Terry McGinnis is coming back. So, with Terry back, and we just pretend all this Brother Eye crap didn't happen, that'd be great. I'll take either or. Now, I'll take Terry, and I can take or leave the Brother Eye. I just trust it'll be handled better and just fundamentally make more sense with Terry. Right? Right? Oh, here we go. And then the final issue of the week is Predator Life and Death number 4 of 4. That will be continued in Prometheus Life and Death number 1, which I won't be reading. Sorry. I don't care about Prometheus. I've still not watched that movie. And I don't know, the story here just doesn't intrigue me enough to stick with it. And just in general, the Predators are kind of punks in this. The whole team of Predators, they should be able to handle the, USMC. I don't know, and the art, I didn't like the art either. I just had a really hard time telling what the hell was going on when anything was moving. Like, what the hell am I watching, or what the hell am I looking at in this last panel? I really have no idea. Like, does this Predator, does he have a hand? Or does he have a hook hand? I don't know what I'm looking at. Like, I didn't mind the art throughout the most of this, but it just really took a dive in this last issue, and I don't like it at all. It looks really bad, and the turnaround for where this all ends and carries into Prometheus Life and Death, I just don't particularly care. Doesn't make me invested in Prometheus at all. I didn't get Weird Detective. What the shit? God damn, my comic book store is awful. Did Captain America come out today? Did Sam Wilson I bet you it fucking did and I didn't get it. Guys! I know I'm kind of a shit about, just ordering a comic at the last minute or something, but if you tell me it's on my list, or if I've been picking it up, come on! That's annoying. I'm just angry now. And this, like I say, sorry, I'm just disappointed. The Predators are just such a non-entity in this book. They're just, an obstacle for the Space Marines to deal with. And sorry if you're hearing the lawnmower, I can't do anything about that. They're just an obstacle for the Space Marines, and it never really develops much into anything, and, I was like, okay, maybe I'll pick up Prometheus, because they showed a Predator kind of, lurking on the ship as it takes off, but then they just kill him in order to make the engineer the monster, and I just don't care at that point, so, whatever. I'm gonna take a pass on this. Maybe we'll get good Predator comics in sometime and I'll read those. I don't know. Life and Death wasn't bad. It just didn't amount to anything on its own, and so I found that kind of disappointing. But that's gonna do it for this week's episode of Comic Reviews. I hope you enjoyed. Much shorter week this week. Unfortunately, I don't have a trade to talk about. I just didn't get the chance to read anything over the weekend, so sorry about that. I hope you do not mind. And I guess I will see you next week. Probably with Captain America. I bet that came out this week. Son of a Bye.